questions about this SQL actions, SQL business rules on it?
The only thing is that,
Go ahead.
no, that's it.
I have a question. My question is, I mean, if I want to have a stored procedure, this is a very rudimentary code, but in reality we don't have something.
Exec as be my procedure, at this and that. That's how we do it.
So it will take it as is. Okay, that's great. I'd rather have the code in the database,
Yeah. Well, understandable. So basically, if you want to build modular code, so I'll give you actually one benefit of not maybe doing it sometimes. I mean, also, if you call the store procedure multiple times, you want to do it in a store procedure. The only problem is, think of it this way. Let's say you have your application. You have staging application, you have test list, and production application.
Okay.
When you deploy your app, you copy your store procedures every time. And then you copy your application, right? You forgot one, it doesn't work, it breaks. One of the benefits of having this SQL business rules, I'm not advocating that to be, it's up to you to choose either practice. But one of the benefits is this text is stored in XML data file. As a matter of fact, it's stored inside of your data controller.
Oh, okay.
So if I deploy my application, I don't have to touch my database. I just simply copy it over and it will work.
Oh, I
The
see.
problem would be if I want to use the same code in the other business rule, right? You're not going to be able to use it.
So you can
have a
maneuver.
shared set of things like, it makes sense to do like
So
store
this.
procedures, but if you do something for that, maybe you can as well write it here.
Gotcha. So this way you can maneuver the data without actually opening the database, because.
You don't have to, you just deploy your application and your version comes with this, with the code.
Yeah.
That's why so basically the rule I would say, if you don't have a really usable piece of code, so I would do it this way. So build always as a business rule, SQL business rule. You can debug it, we have like a little instruction how you can debug it in SQL Management Studio if you need to. You can even leave debug parameters right there in the rule. We can just strip them off and not run them. You can copy it back and forth so you can debug it nicely. And you take this stuff and you can, get stuff and basically, like copy it to Visual Studio or SQL Management Studio, steps through just whatever you need to do. You debug it fully, fully production debugging mode. Just apply simple parameter values as if they were submitted from the, current timeout. And then paste them back and save them. And when you find out that this piece of logic needs to be used somewhere else, by all means create a store procedure, right? That's how you do it. In this code, I'm not going to copy it over. I'll create a store procedure. And then you call store procedure in two places. And the benefit would be you will check in, check out, and it will probably get deployed and so on and so forth. I see that Bob is asking what regular expressions we're using. We use the regular expressions of your browser. So basically ECMAScript, whatever the ECMAScript, JavaScript, regular expressions are plugged in your browser, which are, all of them are, whatever the browser supports. Which is, the same unified set of regular expressions right now. Okay.
It's just that I'm used to Unix ones where
Right.
I can do a lot more than the typical Windows stuff.
Well, I don't know. I don't think there's no regex processor. Actually, I'm wrong. Hold on, give me a second. I'm wrong here. So when you do this regular expressions here, those are regular expressions in Microsoft doesn't have. As a matter of fact, I think Microsoft supports a lot more than Unix one, if I'm right. I think I
When I worked with it, I struggled with Microsoft and Unix one was like, oh, great, Unix can do this.
Really? Okay. Well, maybe you're right. Then, well, I mean, if you had a problem there, then yes. But again, these are just to match action commands. You're not going to put something fancy here, right? Most likely you'll just say do it, So that's not a big deal here. So when you write server-side code, Microsoft does quite a bit. I mean, not quite a bit. That's much more than browsers do. But, you will have a very wide set of regular expressions, very robust one, and it works well.
Could you explain what the command argument is used for?
Okay, so when you have a command, you may want to distinguish your commands. Maybe you have two insert commands. Like, for example, here, let's say I will show you. Let's say I have a fork, for example. I'll just explain to you using an example. So I click on this guy. I will say start creating a new project. New. So I have save and save and new. So this is insert and this is insert. How do I know which one is which? Right? How do I know? I mean, both actions are insert. It's just when I insert this guy, I just want to show what it looks like. When I click on this guy, I want to insert it and then start form again to create a new one. So if you go go to action state machine here, to your product controller, open up form scope, you will see that there's one insert. It says insert, comma, save. It says insert and just save command argument. It's just kind of like a hint, like a, like a qualifier, if you will. And then another one is insert and save a new. And then here you have select when, so like this one says, select in edit form 1 when you do simple insert. So that covers this guy and that guy. But then there is another one. It says, say new in create form 1 when insert was with save and new. So that's that guy. And the same applies if you have 2 custom actions. Let's say you have 15 custom actions. How do you know which one you're running, right? So it's kind of like a second part of identifier. That's all. The reason we actually borrowed it from Microsoft.NET. Microsoft Web Forms, that's how you do it. You have command name. You say, okay, do something. And then command argument, with this argument, right? It just, Microsoft doesn't offer any standard command. There's no insert command name. You make up your command names. What we do, we have predefined command names, insert, update, delete, and then custom. And then you can say, argument kind of tells me which one, which custom, which insert, which delete, if you need to. Okay, so the last thing I'm doing here, I'll show you code business rule. So I'll just go into this business rule, and I'll mess up the command argument, so it's not going to match anything. Okay, I'll just say okay. So no match. And I'll create another business rule, code business rule. So this code business rule will be written in C#, because I have C#. I didn't ask you guys to do C#, but VB is the same code there. I'll say custom, do it, and pretty much set it up in the same way, like I did this other one. I'll say okay. There's no script to write. You don't see script here. It says, type C#. If you right-click this rule, it will say, you can say edit in Visual Studio. I say, please edit for me. And it says, it's not there. So you have to generate one. They're going to say browse. So why is it not there? Well, because we create code file for the business rule, a placeholder, when you generate the project. So if I do it, it's not going to do any asterisk anywhere. So I'd say, okay, let's say this product. Do it. Okay. Nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Application may be declared to the server, but nothing happens. So I go back here and I say, show it to me again. Now it starts Visual Studio, because now there is a code file for that. All right, so it comes up. You should see my Visual Studio coming up slowly, probably. Okay, it should get displayed. Can you see it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so business rules in the next release are a little more compact. The current ones generate a whole bunch of parameters here for each field. We actually wrapped it up in a new release, and your business rules will be much more compact. So you see now that there's a folder called rules here, and there's a file called products, and it describes an object called business rules object instance. And all the fields of the product controller are listed here in various fashion. Okay? And the rule itself is very simple. In the current release, if you do the same thing I did now, you will see a bunch of fields listed here. So what do I get here? So I put a breakpoint here, which is say run in debug mode. Say okay. Will it start up? And what you will see is this. You will see when I go to products page, if I say, do it for this guy, do it for that guy, do it for that guy, and I'll say do it. Okay. So it stops once. You can look at self, and we can inspect self. So this is the properties. Condiments, USA, Grandma Boys, and British Spread. So the properties, right? I say keep going. Second time it stops. Okay, trying to mouse over. Another one, right? Uncle Bob's Organic Diet Bears. I say, okay, keep going. Stops again.
So it's going to happen here for each record.
So yeah, it calls it once for each record. So basically, if you seafood now. So we kind of like, again, the whole idea of business rules. You write one business rule. We're going to call it multiple times. kinds of things, Bob. You can actually set up, roles which you use users explicitly in your application. You can actually massage your data controller and basically say, there's a way in current time applications because it's a unified model. Remember, everything is an XML file. You can actually wipe out stuff from XML files after they were loaded in memory. Not from physical files, but the ones which were being used to process. So you can make your code which would say, are you administrator? No. I'm going to wipe out all edit action. So you will not be able to edit, update, insert, delete, import, anything else. Okay? So that's kind of like a better way to do it if you want to do just like a read-only access. So all kinds of ways are there, and the easiest way is simply say by default in a static fashion. You can say you can only read. And you can only do this action if your role is admin, for example, or manager, right? In applications, you will check that on the server. Will run this business rule and show you UI for that action. Only in that, business rule will run anyway. You can enforce this in a business rule, and you can control if action is visible on an action level. The place where I did the icon when I said Apple, you can say actually, only manager can do it. All right. Anyway, so you can see it stops 3 times. You can write some code here and do that, whatever that you want to do. Okay. So I'll just keep running, and I'll show you basically how you can use this, in a simple fashion. So let's say I want to create a new product, supply some default values. I'm not going to write this actual update of each product. We can mimic the SQL business rule, but there's no point I'll show you. Let's say I want to set up some default values here. So how do I do that? I would say I'll close Visual Studio temporarily. We'll say close. Go to current time. We'll say I want to have another rule. New business rule. So how do you supply default values? I will say code business rule. Say new. Execute. Say OK. Again, if I try to edit it, it's not going to be there. It's not there. So I say browse it for me. So it runs application, generates it once. So if you do it multiple times, if you generate code multiple times, your code business rules will remain because they were already created. Only new files are created if you don't have them. And then I go back to Visual Studio. And here's my implementation. It looks very similar, right? This guy is the same, and this guy is the same. And it just simply says, run this for 101 rule, run this for 102 rule. You can make your code more readable if you go here and just basically rename this rule. Say, instead of R101, say, new rule, right? Like new name, if you want to. So I'll just leave it the way it is. I'll just say, okay, so what's my implementation? I'll say self, self, and I'll say product name, name in this case. The field name, the column name is product name, but the field I refer by, remember the model we changed, we call it name. I'll say, a new product, self, unit price is $9.99, right? Something like that. And if I just go back here, so I can say, okay, so I guess what's it? Well, no. How do you do it? I forgot. Do you guys remember? How do you say
B? Yeah, B at the
H?
end.
The what?
B at the decimal. Yeah.
Yeah, decimal?
I think so, yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. Just put 9. I don't remember. I'm exhausted now. So put 9. Okay, that works. Okay. All right. You don't have to build. If you have a website factory project, yeah, what is it you put there? Now I'm like puzzled. Okay. Okay. I think it's L. No, not L. Decimal. All right. Anyway, so I refresh the page. We'll say new product, right? And I get my, 9 and new price. And if you run a debug mode, you will see it. So you'll say, okay, so that's new product, this guy. And, save it new one. On that one, I'll say different price. I think it should work properly. So that one was 9, and the other one 9.96, right? This is the default I supplied there, and this is the default I changed. So it can order. So again, I don't know if you've seen anything doing stuff better and faster. I don't think many products allow you to do that fast, or frameworks, right? And so, what can we say here? So I guess I'll wrap it up, and I have a bunch of questions, and I'm a little exhausted. I need to go, guys, now. So I need to maybe do some, maybe 5 more minutes, and I gotta go. Okay? So let me look at your questions real quick. Let me look at your questions. Maybe.
The biggest question I'm interested in is if you add or delete a column in the model or in the database. How do you deal with that?
You just basically you go to your database and delete the column, right? You delete it or remove it or add it up, and then you go to current time, and you not going to be visible, I think.
What if you rename a column?
All the same thing. Rename it's kind of like delete and a new one, right? Yeah, from development perspective, it doesn't know. So it's like the old one is gone, and then something else is called name. It's kind of like new, right? So it will not get included, but if it was deleted, it will not be displayed. That's what happens. Deleted columns will disappear. The new columns you need to go and say, okay, I want to go to my model, and here's a new field. Like let's say I go to product, there's some email address there or something. So I'll say, it will look like this, kind of like this. So like, okay, check, new field. And
So if you wanted to rename something, maybe the best way to do it is to create a new field, and then bring it into the model. Then you'll have the attributes to be able to copy over to the new one.
No, I don't know.
Otherwise, you'll have to remember what all the attributes were and all the labels and everything, right?
I'm not sure it will work. So, you physically rename the field, it's like a new field. If you want to rename the column, you can rename it on a model level, like name, right? Like name 2.
Yeah.
Who cares? If you don't care what's called in a database, so you want to make it like, consistent, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you can probably do it if you really want to call it inside of your application name. You can always rename it here, so it doesn't affect your database.
Right. Well, sometimes the database name is wrong, and I just wondered how that would impact doing the development in COT. So I guess the best idea would be to create the new column with its proper name.
Yeah, create a new column with a proper name and just, reconstruct. So basically so the way it works right now is as follows. The model itself, it translates in the file, it kind of like provides a foundation. When you design something, all you design is on top of that. So there's a log file, and that log file has a bunch of transactions. So let's say I changed this name when I designed my app. But you can change stuff here. I would say use these labels and these settings here. You don't have a whole lot, but you can set up format strings and, like .NET format strings. Do it here instead. Don't change anything in Designer. In Designer, you can build actions. When we bring up this options tab, all options will be included in the baseline. So essentially, one of the things we're doing, and we discovered it basically by working with people, your customizations will go straight to the baseline, so you don't have to do them in Designer. Designer customizations are reproduced. Right now, there's no wizard. There will be no wizards till April 1st when you download the product, the fresh release.
Do you mean May 1st?
April 1st. End of this week, we're going to have a new release come out.
So you mean May 1st?
I'm sorry. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st. Yeah, it already happened. Okay, May 1st. May 1st, right. This release, this first release, will not have ability to set up options. We still have the stub, right? But we're not doing it. So,
Sorry.
the reason why we're doing this option, Alex. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, about the membership. The membership, how does it work? You're going to allow users to register, to log in automatically? Is there a recovered password, stuff like that?
In the desktop UI, we do have this capability. In the touch UI, we haven't built it out. We just didn't provide it yet. We just didn't get to it. There's so much stuff in there going on right now. You can do it yourself. It's pretty easy to do. There's a server-side code in there. But, we can offer that ability to do it. The screens will be universal. We'll work with your, custom providers if you have custom tables for users and roles. And it will work with ASP.NET membership as well. So right now we don't have it, but there will be an option to recover password and, get stuff. So let me just tell you, a few words before we finish, what we're doing right now and how the product will change. So this release will be called, this is the one I have is like 857. It's marked as 7, but it will be 8580. End of May, I guess, or start of next month, June, we launch another release. This release will come together with 2 products. Essentially, we're going to launch this Cloud on Time product. And the new release of Cloud on Time will go together. We're going to launch 2 products, release products at once, simultaneously. What is the Cloud on Time? Cloud on Time is a product built with Cloud on Time. It will have exactly the same development model. It will have a model builder. You'll be able to see the query preview resolve. And there will be a bunch of wizards to set up your application. Cloud on Time will not have a designer. It will not have a design environment in the first iteration of it, where you will be able to go and tinker with properties. So we're going to limit shared by both products. So
Right.
anything you put in Cloud on Time, essentially so it's kind of like automation feature. So think of it again this way. I want to create the logger. In a Cloud on Time, you create a CSS file, as I mentioned, copy the file in the right place, create some rules. In a Cloud on Time and future versions of Cloud on Time, you'll go on the wizard, say, here's my file, do it for me. And it's going to set it up for you. The same goes for business rules. Remember I set up actions here, and I say go here, go in a designer. We will have ability to set up this business rules from the options page. Instead of going to where I went to design, you're going to stay here. We may remain designed to implement. We may or may not. We kind of talk about it. We don't know yet if we're going to do it or not. So basically the idea would be, in a Cloud on Time, you will have model builder and options. And options will essentially allow end users to go in the browser. First of all, you will set up a database diagram, like build database tables in the cloud, and you will set up models like you do in Cloud on Time, and it will set up options for the generation, like business rules and whatever we manage to supply. In the Cloud on Time, you will have exactly the same, except you build your database wherever you want to. You can use your database server. Ours will be in Windows Azure. And then you will be able to go to implementation details and play some more with them. And the benefit for you would be, instead of doing that, play some more, hopefully we'll provide enough wizards, we'll provide an open API as well. You'll be able to limit yourself to features of the wizards and basically, like build it out in a very similar fashion.
Is
It's all
it a
different.
subscription model?
This will be a subscription model. So people ask us how to try the product. We cannot give away Cloud on Time because we don't have any kind of locks on the computer you use, right? And what we're going to do is do exactly that. So essentially the purpose of it is to make a multi-user environment will be relatively, pricing will be similar, a little bit less expensive than Cloud on Time one-user option or limited edition. But it will be unlimited edition. Everything else is there, and you'll have private database hosted in the cloud. And we'll provide a way to basically, you can create account and like 2 accounts, for example, and have staging account and production account. Or, move database from one application to another. We'll have ability to publish your database changes. It's kind of like you build it out as a developer, and here's the production instance. Say, now I want to update it, so you will move it. So that's where we're going to go. And it will be, essentially will be exactly the same. The idea is to give you the same exact flow. Again, one more time, there's no database design in Cloud on Time. There is a database designer in Cloud on Time. And there's no designer in Cloud on Time. There is a designer in Cloud on Time. So everything
So
is
Cloud on
done.
Time, you wouldn't be able to use store procedures then?
Well, yeah, actually, a good point. In the Cloud on Time, we're going to limit programming capabilities to JavaScript business rules, email business rules, and SQL business rules only. So you will be able to create store procedures. And we will be also offering a hosted version of Cloud on Time. Essentially, we're going to launch it as a product. We'll see how it goes. We'll try to kind of polish it a bit, build up the set of wizards where it becomes efficiently, for more developers, efficiently flexible. And we're going to offer ability to essentially buy Cloud on Time as it is, as an executable with subscription. So we're going to make updates. You can buy it or host it on your own server, in your own database. And when you debug, you'll be able to write C# business rules by running it. Kind of like if you program with .NET, Nuke, for example, you kind of like run it as a host application, then you create a class library with C# rules. So it'll be like another option to buy it. So we think it will be a better way for us to showcase Cloud on Time, because right now you kind of need to download gigabytes of stuff. But get SQL Server, get this, get that, and not everybody can do it. It takes a lot of time. It actually takes a long
How
time.
you publish from the Cloud on Time, from this one, the current product?
For this
How
one,
you publish the web?
you have to have your own server, right? You have your own server. You just basically go in and cancel, choose a project, and say publish. If it's a website factory project, it will create a set of files. So we don't bother with the server information. We use a published set of files.
Yeah.
So basically, same set of files, but you can see there's a binary folder and precompiled stuff. So it's your full application. You just copy that over to your server and deploy it. You can build Azure application, Azure factory project, and that will create an Azure cloud service. Like one big file will be there. You can upload it to your Azure account and scale it up to your preference.
Right.
So that's how you do it. The Cloud on Time will be instantly available. So essentially, we're going to give you that you'll be able to go in and start building forms right away. There'll be like a bunch of stuff. We're not going to really expand on it, but it should be available very soon. So we worked on it for like several years already, and we finally realized how to bring both products together, and it's coming together now.
What would be the price ballpark? Are you able to tell us that?
Well, we'll do it when we discuss got so far is this. So we kind of, obviously we would like to charge for every user, like Salesforce. Salesforce charges gazillion dollars. Like, I'll just tell you what options we have and what we're thinking we're going to do. So it would be unfair. You probably wouldn't go for $100 a user, right? You're not going to charge for end users $100 a month. So what we figure we're going to do this. We're going to charge you $100 for one developer seat and certain amount of space in the database. So what we're going to do, we're going to count how many records you create, and you will have unlimited users. So you're going to have a limited number of developers, one developer $50 a month. And we don't know yet how much space we're going to give you, but we will provide you like megabytes in database space and gigabytes in file space. So binary files, if you upload photographs, are pretty cheap. Database is expensive. So we're going to have this, highly available database for Microsoft in the cloud. So you would pay, for example, I can't tell you how many megabytes will be included, but the idea would be, if you're a single developer, you pay $50 a month, and you have included, let's say, 5 megabytes of database space. I can give you like an idea that Northwind databases, I think it's less than 5 megabytes when it's stored in the database. So we're not going to count records, we're going to count physical space. So we're assuming that you have more users, you will probably pump in more stuff, right? And if you have less users, you will probably not pump in more stuff. So it'll be very simple, okay?
Okay.
Like kind of like $50 a user. So, and since you cannot take it away from us, we'll give you the ability to download the data, but the application code you wouldn't be able to take. So we think we'll price it a little bit cheaper, so it'll be cheaper to get. So $100 for one user in the physical space, and $50 for each additional developer per month. Unlimited users in the end.
And just to be sure, the membership option will be available for Touch on time, for Touch UI.
Okay, so it's available now. You actually have a user manager. But, you can go and manage users right now. You have it. There's no self-service feature. Like I can create new users. I can say, for example, let's create a new guy, new user, right? And I'll say, like I have this feature built in. If you have standard membership, it allows you to set up roles and things like that, and just log in. Okay?
Right.
If you build custom membership provider, like you say, I want to have my own table of users, and if I were you, I would actually do that. If you buy a limited edition, you can have this, ability to set up a custom user, right? A custom user table. We give you instructions how to build, screens, so you can build a screen. The default screen includes fixed, properties, like you cannot put any extra stuff here. But let's say you want to put, phone number, cell phone number, birthday, and things like that. You put your own table together, and, we give you instructions how to set it up.
Yeah, because I have a very specific need for a membership application that they need to register and log in, log out, and then
Okay, that would be unlimited edition. So you go to unlimited edition, set it up there, and that should work probably fine.
Okay, awesome.
That's what you're asking. Cool. Yeah, all right. All right, guys. So, again, the designer will be available sometime in, I guess, at the end of May. I kind of lost the time myself. End of the next month, and it comes with Cloud on Time. So Cloud on Time will have a designer. We will have Page Builder as well, and we're going to build both products. We're going to release, features simultaneously. So, essentially, it's like the same product. It's like the cloud version and, desktop version.
Yeah, we didn't cover the in control.
Unlimited license that comes with Cloud on Time?
No, we're not going to give it. Because we have to, it costs a lot of money, to host the stuff, so we can actually charge you.
No, but I mean, if you host it yourself.
So, again, the pricing will be like this. You don't need really Cloud on Time, if you already have Cloud on Time, because you will have exactly the same features. You're not going to have, you're going to have the same wizard, but you're not going to have database designer. And, but otherwise it will be the same. Anything we put in Cloud on Time, like Page Builder for the content management system, everything else, it will be available to you. The only reason for you to use Cloud on Time. So let's say you have a client and you want to make a quick demo. You just go online to build it out. You can take your iPad, buy iPad Pro, and go build it on the Touch UI. Because it's going to be touch enabled. So you sit down, build it up, say, preview. As a matter of fact, one of the things we're going to put in there, you will have in the options page, on the options of the model builder here, when you set up models, you'll be able to design, UI right here. So you'll be able to say, well, I want to change my edit form template, and you'll design it right here. So it will be, if it's web-based, it will be web-based. You'll set it up right here, and we'll give you the ability to design you up by drawing it. One of the features we'll have, you'll go to a form, In a form designer, in the current time, you will have a fixed number of fields. So whatever you define in the model is available to you. In the cloud time, you can literally start with a form. You can say, hey, I want to define a form for customer. Well, I have no field. Well, let's create a field called company name. You put company name. We can update your database for that. You say, I want to put contact name. Okay, contact name in there. Phone number. Phone name goes in there. So you can visually build a form, save it, and say preview. But then the same page will change to the live version of it. So you build it visually, if you will, and that will be a good way to prototype. And we're going to give you the ability to download the data. You can download it, and then you get yourself database structures on your computer, and you can, keep generating current time out. I'm not hoping to sell it twice because of that. All right?
Okay.
All right, guys. All right. Good time. And, if you have any questions, just keep sending, support tickets or community questions, and, a lot of stuff is coming soon, okay?
Yeah, we didn't cover the in control. I mean, I need to.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well,
Thank you.
thank you.